This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to support the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Thanks for your continued support. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins, in a new location.
That's right. It's popping.
Hi, LeRon.
Hey, Corey.
Are you nervous, LeRon? People are going to hear what you have to say on the podcast now.
Oh, yeah.
Important people.
I'm not sweating all that.
LeRon,
I am not. Live eyes and live ears, though. I am not, though. I'm not sweating it.
we'll give it a couple hours. LeRon, we coordinated today.
I know, right?
I know. Except you yelled at me because you said I wasn't wearing pink. It's just because... Look,
it's lighting. It's that lighting. That lighting is washing it out.
It's also because I'm pasty pale, and pink is also a pale color, and so it just matches my skin tone. Speaking of pale, also here is PK Power Pat Klein.
Palest of them all. Let me
Hi,
tell
Pat.
you, if sun touches my skin, I will instantly burn. That is how
That's fair.
pale I am.
It was 60-something degrees the other day, and I was outside for 45 minutes, and my face got red. So
I can lift my shirt up, and people would start screaming that the beacons are lit for Gondor.
I don't know what that means, but that's okay. Should I know what that means?
Lord of the Rings reference.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
You never seen anything, Corey.
Dude, I fell asleep. I've tried to watch Fellowship of the Ring 3 times, and I fell asleep within the first 30 minutes every single time. I got to the part where Frodo is hiding from this scary ghost thing.
That's like 30 minutes in the movie.
That's what I said.
That's what he said.
That's like that first half of the movie is amazing too, with the Nazguls and that's how
then
you pronounce them, right?
and then I woke up.
Speak for yourself.
Then I woke up and they were like in a cave, and the dwarf was like axing zombie things in half. And then I was like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm just gonna watch something else. I know there's like 75 hours left of this movie, so I should just turn it off.
I hope you're ready, because they're gonna be making a new Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, no.
I don't care.
But it's all about Gollum, the one person that we want to know more about.
Yeah, they already made a terrible game about it. We don't need to.
And now they need to make a terrible movie about it.
I don't want any of this. Can we?
Seriously,
Guys,
though, the only good thing behind it is that it's Andy Serkis who's like directing. So
well, that doesn't mean anything.
it
Hey, everybody,
means
we have a guest.
everything.
We do. I'm trying to get there. And
No.
Pat keeps talking about Gollum, and I don't know.
It's good content. Keep it going.
Oh man, guys, we have a special guest. This is his first and probably his last time here because of how awesome our show is. From Spreading the Nerd, you may know him from Secret Friends Unite. He's been on their network of shows. I can't tell you how much I love Todd and Mark and Charlie. Although I don't think Charlie likes me because I don't watch Star Trek, so he just doesn't talk to me. Sometimes it's okay.
I'm surprised I still like you.
It can
even
get
though you don't
heated.
watch Star Trek.
I know. I'm sorry. He's also been on Luke Lore's podcast, EXP. You guys probably heard him over there. XEP. Sorry. Ours is EXP. Ugh.
Mine was EXP.
Uh,
Mine was EXP before yours was EXP. You stole it.
Adam.
your EXP is DOA. So
Yes, it is.
Clint Coombs is here, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to our little whatever this is. I don't know. Stephanie's not here to keep us all in line, so it's just off the rails already.
It's a free for all tonight.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a good time to meet everybody.
Yeah.
See the true side of everybody.
Yeah, this is.
I am angry.
Pat, you're always angry.
I am more angry.
Oh, why are you angry?
I can't wait to talk about why I'm angry.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Boy.
It's not because he because Corey didn't watch Lord of the Rings.
Well, I mean that adds to it, but no, they're just There's a segment later. We'll talk
Clint,
about it.
we did like a 40-minute segment one time of all the movies that I've never seen. It was just a thing.
Yeah, it was disastrous. It was entertaining, but disastrous.
Yeah.
Have you seen Jaws?
No.
See,
all right.
If it's not Disney,
don't hurt yourself.
If it's not Disney or made by George Lucas, he has never seen it.
That's not true. There are George Lucas movies I've never seen. That airplane movie he made after he sold his company to Disney.
Nobody saw that movie.
I didn't see it. I'm just telling you.
Nobody saw that movie. You can't give yourself credit for a movie nobody else saw.
Yeah, I
don't know
can.
what movie he's talking about.
But
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Nobody saw that movie. That's what I'm saying. Nobody saw that movie.
Clint, save us here. Who are you? Why are you here? Why are you important? Why should people pay attention to you? Who are you?
I'm here for the entertainment now. This is good stuff. My name's Clint Coombs, lover of video games. Just recently, not recently, probably been the past year, gotten more into podcasts, especially once I started listening to XCP with Luke and helping him out over there with a few community events. Always wanted to get into it. Started up my podcast, Spreading the Nerd, about 2 months ago. Only got about 2 episodes in. It's rough doing it by yourself.
It is.
But
it's
should hopefully have a co-host coming on this Friday, hopefully, and that should definitely help out some more.
Is it you, Corey?
It is not me.
Okay.
Nope. I'm trying.
I don't accept anybody that hasn't seen Jaws.
Corey
I'm
will
sorry.
pimp himself out the podcast, though.
I will. I will. Anybody out there listening, I will do things to be on your podcast.
Hey, Crossroads is coming back. What you gonna do for me?
Oh, Jesus.
We'll save it for after dark. We'll save it for after dark.
Well, Clint, looking forward to the future of Spreading the Nerd. You're welcome here. We will help you however we can to get it off the ground and do whatever needs to be done.
Thank you.
So
appreciate it. It's just great being here.
Yeah,
in general.
This is great. Glad you're here. We are going to talk about some video games. We're going to talk about some questions, or answer some questions, I guess. We have new segments to the show, everybody. New segments. Specifically for the things that our social media team is doing. Not really, but it will help them out. We'll do some housekeeping first. If you want to support the Boss Rush Podcast and the Boss Rush Network, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network at any tier that's right for you, earning you perks such as early ad-free access to this podcast and others, exclusive access to spotlight interview threads, voting rights on Video Game Book Club, and more. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. But as always, your listenership and viewership is enough for us. If you're watching the video on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, leave us a thumbs up, or leave a comment, hit the bell, all those YouTube things. If you're listening on podcast services like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review. We'd appreciate it. Always a good time over there. Leave a nice review. Unless you're the Elden Ring person, we don't want you.
Oh, that's so mean.
No, it's a running joke on here. Somebody left us a review like a year and a half ago because we didn't negatively talk about Elden Ring. We said we didn't play it because Souls games aren't for us, and this one wasn't going to change our mind. And they said we talk trash about Elden Ring, so it's just the thing.
Yeah. I remember that person.
Forbid you don't like a certain genre.
They were such a jewel.
Speaking of jewels, you can check out our merch store on TeePublic. There's 50 designs. New designs are coming. I'm very excited for these new designs, everybody. Very classic video game style designs, style logos. You can check those out. And as always, you can check out our reviews, articles, podcasts, videos, and more on bossrush.net. David and crew are running a tight ship over there. So check it out. Let's get into what we've been playing. Clint, you are our guest, our esteemed guest. We're going to let you go first.
All right. So pretty much recently I've been replaying Hellblade just to get ready for the second one. that nobody knows is coming because
Mhm.
Microsoft doesn't know how to advertise anything.
Oh, we all know it's coming.
No. You know
Right.
that it's coming, Corey.
I know.
You.
I love
No one else knows that it's coming out in 1 week. Or by the time you hear this, it's out.
Yeah, by the time you hear this, it'll be out.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I played it when it first came out. So now I'm replaying it on PC now with a like 3D headset and everything. It's just game's a trip. It's so good in the best way. So yeah, I've been replaying that one, getting touched up with that. And then Stellar Blade,
mm.
uh, which hit me by surprise. Stellar Blade. I wasn't really on my to-do list this year, but the demo came out and it made me a fan. And then after the demo, I did get the game, and I'm probably about halfway through it now, and I'm loving it every minute of it. I think it might be a game of the year contender for me, honestly.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is a
Yeah,
solid game. Like,
It's awesome.
yeah, yep.
I've also been playing Stellar Blade, and by playing the game, I mean I played the demo. But
the demo's technically the beginning of the game because it
yeah, I know.
carries over.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. Sorry, Clint, continue. I was just
No, it's
expressing
great
my
that if you love the demo, which I did as well, you'll love the game even more because after the demo, it opens up to like open world. You've got quest hubs and stuff, so you can go out to open, not open world areas, but very large zones to complete quests and stuff. And then there's also a fishing mini game in it that is
Yes, there
way
is.
too good than it needs to be.
Yes, it
I've been
is.
like fishing in that just as much as I've been playing the game.
I went around and started
Story's
finding
really
the
good.
different spots where you can fish.
Yeah, yeah, I ended up, like, backtracking and finding all the water that I could.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, very, very well done. The story's really good, a lot better than I thought it would be. I usually, when a game has a bunch of notes or, you know, tablets to pick up to read about past things that happened, I usually just glaze over it type of thing, but this one I've been keeping up with them. It's very well done. It's, definitely a surprise hit for me for sure.
Did you play Nier at all?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does everybody is like comparing it to Nier, and like just by playing the demo I see similarities, but like
There's, like, similarities, but I don't.
It's more on the story side, not really the action
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's similarities, but I don't think I would like compare the two really.
It's the only similarities is you're a sexy android going through a human decimated Earth, or humans no longer live really on this Earth because something caused it to be decimated, and now
Hmm.
you're trying to bring back humanity
mm,
by clearing out the cause.
mm.
Yeah.
But in Nier, your butt cheeks are covered by a flap that they call a skirt, and in this one, it is not.
I do
Depends
like
on the
how all
outfit.
the outfits. Yeah, it depends on the outfit, and there's a ton of outfits, and thankfully they're just unlockable, like games of the old where you just had to do things, collect things, and then you unlocked the outfits.
Hmm.
Great.
Yep. What's your favorite outfit so far, Clint?
Um, what's it called? It's red and black. It's not like a full suit. It does
Ooh,
show off some of the sides.
is it the one like is it kind of
You get it
leathery
kind of
pants,
early
or is it
on.
the race car
I think it's like the race car
where
one, I
it's
think.
like checkered top, red and black
Yeah,
checkers?
yep,
Okay, yeah.
yep.
I think that's like
But I gotta collect all the cans because I gotta get the outfit for that one. That one looks pretty good.
I hear the one that you get for the fishing one is pretty good. I haven't actually seen which one it is,
Yeah.
but I did collect a very interesting one just recently, and it is basically a bear.
Oh, really?
It is a complete bear costume that is not at all sexy, but it's like clearly the one that you need to go through to show just how crazy you are.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. But no, my favorite
Yeah.
costume, I think it's called like the Wastelander outfit. It's kind of like a leather jacket. She has her midriff exposed, but then it's like jeans. I don't know why.
Mm,
It's like this is an outfit I could see her actually going around and exploring in
right.
versus one of
Right.
the more like schoolgirly, like open dress or like.
What,
really anything
Yeah.
there.
you don't go out and explore in your half tucked button up shirt and your short skirt and your knee socks?
You know, the thing that they don't show you in the demo is that this world is practically desert and sand. I don't think that
Right.
would be very comfortable wearing those kind of clothes
No.
out in that world.
No, it's coarse.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
It's gotta be bad for your skin.
Just tries it out.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah, so that's basically what I've been playing, and then off and on with like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14. Been staying at work, playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. It's kind of like a knockoff of Vampire Survivors, but with a mix of Deep Rock Galactic, which is definitely a lot of fun.
Nice. Deep Rock Survivor is like the it's not like Deep Rock Galactic. It's like the
No, it's like set in the same world, but what's the genre now? It's like auto shooter
yeah,
or something like that
the
type of thing.
ass
So you have the
shooter
4
is
classes.
what some people
Yeah.
call it. Auto shooting sim or something.
Yeah, and then you just level up your character. It's kind of like roguelite type of thing, and
Mm.
yeah,
You said it.
it's really good. You got 4 characters and
You said
go
the
to town.
word that you said it.
Which word?
Roguelite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
He didn't
Run
say it's a
away.
deck builder though.
I know.
no,
Man, you put
no,
those two
I'm
together.
not a deck builder fan.
Yes.
I've tried to get into a few. I just
Okay, you can
can't
stay.
do it.
The only deck builder I've ever played is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and that's because I like Kingdom Hearts and I force myself to play it.
Mhm.
And it's not even really a deck builder. It's just kind of you spam the cards until you get through the battle.
In the same manner, I'd say my favorite deck builder was the Mega Man Battle Networks.
Are those deck builders?
Those are deck builders.
Oh man, I was looking at them on the eShop because I was like, I've never played Battle Network. I kind of want to play them, and I just thought they were more mega.
Yeah, they don't call them cards; they call them chips.
Whatever. They're the. I hate these things. I hate it all.
Yeah. Are you excited for Dawn Trail?
I am. Yeah, super excited.
Nice.
Yep, that graphics update and everything. Classes look good. Yeah, pretty excited.
And the fact that it's a whole brand new story after the events of
Like that's I love Final Fantasy 14, have since the beginning, but it's gonna be nice to have something refreshing, something new type of thing.
Mhm. Wonder how long he
Definitely.
plans to drag this one out. Like how many
I know, right?
expansions?
Yeah, Yoshi's I don't know, we'll see.
He's got ideas,
We'll see.
man. He has got
He
ideas.
does. He does. More than most over there, it seems, at the moment.
Yeah, he's leading the crowd, that's for sure. I mean, you also have Nomura, but his ideas are a little beyond what most normal people are capable of thinking.
Well, guys, I'm gonna go next because I've actually been playing real video games recently.
Good for
You were playing Final Fantasy VII.
I was. That's not a real game. It's a soul sucking, sad. It's basically
could have
my.
easily been avoided.
All the stuff that Pat and I tried to tell you.
It's basically my
You
ex-girlfriend.
don't listen. You don't listen.
He really doesn't.
You're essentially a gamer in this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying Final Fantasy VII is like my ex-girlfriend. She's hot. You want to play it. You want to be a part of it. You want to be in it. And then
wait. Hold on.
And then it just makes your life hell.
OG Final Fantasy VII in this day and age. You're saying that's hot.
I'm saying you want to because Final Fantasy VII is the hotness, right? Like it's just everybody plays it, everybody loves it, so you want to be a part of it.
Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth are the hotness.
I'm saying everybody before the remakes, everybody loved Final Fantasy VII. It's essentially the Ocarina of Time of PlayStation. Everybody loves it. Everybody's like, you gotta play it.
Clint, Pat, do y'all agree with that statement? Because I don't know if Final Fantasy VII is the Ocarina of Time.
Get out of here, you PC nerd.
It's a classic, but you know what? If I had to play between Ocarina of Time and 3D Ocarina of Time, I'd go with the 3D Ocarina of Time because you know it's a refreshing paint, coat of paint.
Yeah. I mean, the OG Final Fantasy VII is great to the people who played it.
You guys,
when we were in high
you guys are all thinking way too hard about
nowadays.
this.
It's just Like I've tried to go back into it a few times on Switch, PC, and it's just like I can't do this, and I don't want to tar my memory of this game.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Final Fantasy VII. I got about, according to these fine people, I got about halfway through it, and I ended my run. I tried. I gave it the good old college try. Everybody, I got about halfway through it, just like my first try at college. Halfway through, and then I can't do it anymore. So I put it down, and by putting it down, I deleted it. So after that, I downloaded Stellar Blade, but while it was downloading, I started Uncharted 2 because that's our book club game for this month. And I gotta tell you, man, that opening the sequence with the train is so iconic. It's so awesome. I love this. This reminds me why I love Uncharted. Like when we played Uncharted 1, I was like, I like it, but it's like it's just fine. But oh man, Uncharted 2. And then you make your way through like that museum and everybody backstabs each other, and it's just it's so good. So good.
Yeah.
I love Uncharted 2. Oh, it's so good. Top 25 game of all time for me, I think. Maybe. Possibly. I've never actually written out that list recently. It's been a long time since I've written out that list. There's been about 2 console generations and 6 million games since I wrote that list out. So, but I did play Stellar Blade, and this is like my kind of combat. I love how it's not super methodical, but it's not super fast. It's like it's not Dark Souls-y, but it's complicated enough to make you think. Like it's got a nice flow to it, in my opinion. And I've only played through the demo, so I am sure that some of the issues that I have you can upgrade through skill points or skill trees or whatever. But like the dash dodge move, I wish it was a little bit I don't know, dodgier. It just kind of just feels like you're moving side to side.
You can upgrade that to like 2 dodges.
Yeah, I figured. I just in the demo I was like, I thought, because like for some reason I'm so used to dodging when an enemy swings at me. I just want to like dodge to the left or dodge to the right, or there's no dodge backwards either that I found. And then it's really forcing you to use that parry mechanic.
That's pretty much all the attacks can be parried.
Yeah. So I've had to get used to the parrying mechanic. Also, like just from playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey so much, like for some reason my head automatically goes to that game when I'm playing a third person action game now. And I when I go to like, that's why I wish the dodge was a little bit better, I think. But I also keep putting my fingers on the shoulder buttons for combat, and I have to get used to the fact that they're the face buttons again. So that's kind of messed me up a little bit, but that's just a me thing. It's not a game thing, but I really enjoy it. I really think the combat's really good. I think the monster design is pretty interesting. It's pretty violent, but in like a weird, I guess, almost anime way. By the way, side tangent, guys. I think I have a confession to make, but I'm not 100% sure.
You like Asian
What
girls?
does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, that's not a secret, Pat. My brain does
I
not
know that
discriminate.
you like black and you like white girls. I did not know you like Asians.
It doesn't matter. My brain, when it comes to attractive women, is agnostic.
Fair enough.
God, Pat,
Good answer. Good answer.
You distracted me, Pat. Now I gotta forget what I'm saying. Oh, right. I think I'm a closeted weeb, but I don't know, because I've been wanting to play all these games, right? And I have downloaded most of these games, right? So I'm also playing Xenoblade, which is a series I've been wanting to play for a long time. I've played all of them extensively. I've never finished them. And so we were talking on Pow Block a couple weeks ago about games that our favorite games series that we've never finished. And was that Pow Block or was that this show? I don't remember. Maybe it was this show because
It
Matt
was
was
that
on it.
show.
Because Matt was on it. And Xenoblade is like the one that haunts me to this day. I loved playing it on the Wii. It was like one of the 5 Wii games I actually enjoyed playing because I hate the Wii. I think that system is trash. I hope it dies in a fire. Mine did die in a fire. I got another one. That's a real story. My apartment burned down and the Wii was my console that was plugged in with my Xbox 360. Oh, rip. Maybe that's why I never had a Red Ring of Death, because my console didn't live long enough to see it. Oh, man. Every time I smell burning toast, it haunts me forever.
Well, at least you smell on burning toast because you actually know what a fire smells like, and not burning toast because you're about to have a stroke.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true. I mean, it could be both at one point in my life. I drink enough caffeine for 75 people in a year. So, but I've been
I watched this guy drown 3 Red Bulls in under 5 minutes.
I mean, I could
And
probably.
that was at PAX, right?
Yep.
I could probably do that.
He double fisted 2, and then
Oh,
Cordy
me.
decided to give
You're talking to
you
me.
an extra.
Yes, talking about you.
It was either
Oh.
Cordy or Mary gave you their extra one,
Mary
and
did.
you took that one too.
Okay, to be fair, they were the 8-ounce ones. They were not like the 20-ounce giant ones that I'm drinking right now that it takes me a whole
Does it
show to drink.
matter? Does it matter?
Yes, it sure does matter. I have a large mouth. I can fit a lot in here.
All right. I'm new here. I won't say anything.
All right. Wait till we get to our second recording tonight. Oh, we're gonna blast this one.
All right. Anyways,
back to the weeb.
Back to the weeb closet. I made a list of games that I want to play now after I've finished my non-finished Final Fantasy VII. And here's the list of games: Persona, Xenoblade, Astral Chain, 13
really
Sentinels,
game, but
13 Sentinels. What else was on that list? I lost my list. I want to finish Fire Emblem Engage because I thought it was boring, and I never finished it. What else was on this list? Anyways,
we should get you
into
the
Valkyria
Chronicles
Chronicles,
series.
Valkyria Chronicles,
game,
Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I'm like, these are all like anime games, and like, I think I'm secretly a weeb.
No, you see, you're mixing that up. A weeb is someone that's, gets their jollies from 2D. So if you want to become a weeb, you don't think that's a weeb?
I disagree. I disagree. I feel the stuff he said is very weeabooish. Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially Persona.
Exactly.
I just
maybe I picture weeboo.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Catherine's
like
on that list.
Genshin style, like where the girls
Oh,
all look underage.
I downloaded.
Genshin definitely would solidify that, but I mean,
I downloaded Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail on PlayStation. Downloaded them both.
I've downloaded them too. I've never started them though.
Me neither, but I'm interested.
How about the Atelier series?
I just purchased Atelier Riza 1 because it was on sale.
There's a weeb.
Yeah, I would say
there's a weeb in there now.
Yeah. So
we're gonna have a conversation about waifus here pretty soon.
That's fair.
Yeah, the new was it the new Shin Megami game? Well, not new, but
Vengeance. Are you talking about Vengeance?
Vengeance, yeah.
That is a whole different type of kink right there.
Yeah, I was just going to say like I'm surprised Shin Megami hasn't entered the chat yet.
And I've been staring at this Fire Emblem buy scale figure that I've been wanting for like a year and a half. That's like $150, and I've been trying to. So I've been
female
curating.
Byleth?
What? Yeah.
Female okay.
Yeah. Nobody plays as male Byleth. Who does that? The only person that does that is Nintendo, apparently, because they never made a female Byleth amiibo, which really upsets me. That's besides the point. God, what am I talking about now? Right. So
Weebs.
I started I started playing Xenoblade, and I got to I'm not very far. I got to the part where you get to the picnic table at the top of the hill, and you kind of sit there and talk to what's her name for a little bit, and that's kind of where I'm at. But
Dude, you haven't even started the game.
I know. I've played like 20 hours of the game before, and I
Okay.
just stopped playing because
Such a big game.
I think what came out when I think I started playing it like right before Destiny expansion came out, and you know how I am when a Destiny expansion comes out. I forget life exists. So I've been playing that, and I really, man, Xenoblade is such a cool world. That I love the art style. I love the animation. I love how everyone's British because they didn't want to localize it here. But I think it's awesome because there's never British voice acting in like these types of games. It's always like, oh, I'm
Yep.
playing another Assassin's Creed game, so everybody's British because it doesn't take place in America except for 3. But
We gotta introduce you to Dragon Quest.
I have Dragon Quest XI downloaded on my Switch.
Okay.
It's another
Because
classic.
sometimes people say
one.
that the JRPG translations may be too British, and it's mostly because of games like that.
I mean, that's fine, I guess. So yeah, I just kind of coming to this realization that the other game I have on my list to finish is Monster Hunter Stories 2, because
That's on my list.
I really enjoyed what I played there too, and I just never finished it. So I start a lot of games and then I never finish them. Nier Automata is another one that I loved, and I played like 25 hours of, and I never finished it. I never finished the first playthrough, let alone the 3 supplement ones. What?
When are we gonna get you into Yakuza?
I know. I have Yakuza 0 downloaded on my Xbox. It's been there for like a year, and although I'm mad at Xbox right now, so I don't really. I mean,
you're not alone.
I know everybody is.
It's almost the entire series is almost always 70% off.
I know. Did I tell you that
I think pretty much all of them are Game Pass.
I unsubscribed to Game Pass for the first time since it launched this month?
I'm getting ready to let my Game Pass lapse. Actually,
Yeah.
because
people that I've heard.
I think I'm just gonna straight up buy Hellblade because I love Hellblade, so I'm just gonna buy it. But like, this is the first time.
There's a physical of that.
Yeah, there will be. They're gonna do one of those stupid limited run things like they're doing with Hi-Fi Rush. They'll do it.
Yep.
They'll do it when they announce that game's coming to PlayStation. That's when they'll do it. Because I think it's inevitably coming to PlayStation. The more and more I think about this Xbox situation, the more and more I think all these games are coming. I think Gears of War is coming to PlayStation.
I don't think no one ever doubted Gears of War coming to PlayStation.
So, I mean, some people were saying that like the big franchises like Fable, Forza, Halo, and Gears would stay on Xbox forever. And I'm like,
I remember. I can't remember what episode of Crossroads it was, but I remember saying that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was going to be on PC, and I had people downvote my actual podcast video for that. Right? They downvoted
shocker,
it.
PlayStation people are down,
and they spammed my comment section on the YouTube.
On the
and
YouTube.
Then, I was gonna say on the YouTube clip, because I actually clipped it and made it its own short segment. But it also like basically they bombarded the hell out of the comment section on the YouTube upload. And then 8 months later, Ratchet and Clank was out for PC.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's another reason why I want to get a Steam Deck.
I already told you where to actually you need to just hold your chips for the ROG Ally X or whatever they're gonna call it.
I know. I don't want a ROG Ally, man.
It's rumored it's only gonna be $100 more than the cream of the crop ROG Ally right now.
But that's $700.
What, bigger battery and stuff?
If you do not, so here's the advice right now. If you do not have anything besides a Nintendo Switch, then wait for the ROG Ally X. because when you compare it to the Steam Deck OLED, which the Steam Deck OLED is probably the nice one. Well, actually, you know, Corey, this ultimately answers the question right here that I'm about to ask you. This answers the question what you should get. Do you care about the Windows OS and how flexible it is with a portable gaming device,
No.
or do you just want something that's guaranteed to play games?
Dude, I have 3 Macs. What do you think? I hate Windows. I hate using Windows. I avoid Windows at all costs.
Why do you hate using? See, this is the
We've
IT
had this.
guy.
We've
This is the
had.
IT
We've
guy
had
LeRon,
this.
coming in.
LeRon, you're
LeRon,
talking to Corey here.
we've had
He
this.
doesn't make sense.
We've had this discussion
No.
3 times on.
Ed doesn't make sense.
Oh my
And
gosh!
Corey has
Don't
been
get me.
hanging
All the
too
people-
much with Ed.
So here's the thing with
you like
Steam Deck,
spending
too.
money for you like spending money for all the wrong reasons then, right?
Me?
Because Mac products, they're good, but they're overpriced for what you get.
I mean,
They're
it lasted
good
12 times as long as my PC did. So
because you bought shitty PC builds.
I had
You
a
did.
friend
did.
build it for me. I told him buy the parts, build it for me.
That guy obviously did not sink in on the right type of parts. Like, I build computers. Like, I've been doing this for 12 years.
That's what he said.
I know,
And
but also you did
2
not
of
know him
them
back then.
dead.
And I would have went and whipped his ass. Like, he would have been responsible for repairing those computers. I'm just saying.
I
Are you still friends with this guy?
I haven't talked to this person since before Boss Rush started, so I don't know how old is that.
As you should.
I was pissed, man. I mean,
yeah, like I said, I'd be pissed too.
So, and then I threw it in the dumpster and
honestly,
crushed it.
I'm not trying to like blow smoke or whatever, you know, toot my own horn or whatnot and stuff like that. But I would have, but if and you know what, it could be you just had a bad. They call it losing the silicon lottery, basically, because like, you know, like basically it's all about the integrity of the parts and stuff like that. But as a friend, I would have owned the fact that, you know, hey man, like the computer you built for me is not working right. I would have owned that and tried to fix it.
Man, I spent so much money on that thing.
How long did you have it?
Less than a year, probably 8 or 9 months, and then it just died.
I would have been knocking on doors.
Give me the specs that you had. What
dude,
was
I don't remember. I can't tell you.
See,
what are
your specs in your current Mac device?
I would have to turn it on and look. I'm using my work one right now for this podcast. My real one is over there. I'm actually going to turn that into a Windows device so we can stream stuff. Because
you know, I'm not.
It's easier. It's easier to live stream stuff through Windows.
I know that. know that.
So I'm turning my desktop Mac into a Windows machine for that specific reason, because it's my oldest machine and I don't really use it anymore. So I thought it would be the easiest one to turn into a Windows device and just stream from. And that would be its sole purpose. Or record Let's Plays or shows or whatever. Because work was very generous and gave me the old MacBooks from that are just out of warranty, and they're only 3 years old. So
ooh, dude, let's talk, because I've actually been trying to get my hands on a Mac so I can learn a little bit more of the Mac ecosystem.
I'm keeping them. I'm not. My goal is to not use my work one for podcasting. I'm going to use my other. Anyways,
my birthday is literally in 3 weeks.
I know. I have something for you. That's why I asked for your address.
Okay. You know,
asshole.
Okay. What? Jesus Christ, you're so mean.
I know. LeRon, what are you playing?
I've only managed to play one game because I moved over the weekend.
I played Tekken and I'm blue tier.
No, I played Monster Hunter.
Oh,
Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
Okay, well, it's the same.
Yeah, like
thing.
that's
and he's G rank. Remember?
No. I'm still slogging through like the low rank stuff because like I refuse to fight that Zora Magdaros mission.
These are words.
It's gatekeeping me from getting to high rank. Yeah, so not much to report. Like I honestly did not really have time to play anything most of last week, and I haven't played anything like these last couple of days. I mean, besides Street Fighter Duel, which they Donatello and Raphael are officially in the game now. So like all the Ninja Turtles are there now.
In what game?
Street Fighter Duel.
Do I have to download this?
It's a mobile game.
Do I have to? Do I have to?
I would tell you no, don't download it.
Oh no, but Ninja Turtles are in it, dude. I
I
bought
know
Fortnite skins.
Well, they're in the latest Street Fighter too, aren't they?
Uh, they're skins. They're very expensive skins too.
Yeah, aren't they like $15 or something?
Yeah,
They were,
Like a skin.
but I already
Crazy.
have them in Injustice 2, so I don't need to buy Street Fighter to play a fighting Ninja Turtles game.
Guys, watch this.
Turtles are awesome.
Yes, you do, Corey.
I know. Shut up. Stop. Dude, I'm about to buy that stupid garbage quote unquote classic arcade game that came out in 2012 because
you mean that shit that was the cabinet in only Dave and Buster locations?
probably, yeah. Whatever
shit.
whatever the $30 one that just came out is.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with Ninja Turtles, man. I can't help it. I'm looking at the $200 NECA 1/6 scale versions from the original movie, okay?
Oh, those ugly things.
Dude, don't. I'm gonna. Pat,
Yes.
what are you playing? Help me.
I never thought you would get to me.
I know we were. LeRon's giving me. He's curdling my blood. He's pulling an Edward.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
how dare you?
Whoa.
How dare you? Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
I
It would never be that bad. I'm just kidding.
That is racist.
Whoa.
I'm gonna sit
I think
here
you're
and-
racist just because they're both black and they both curdle my blood. That is not racist.
That is purely racist on your behalf.
Oh, it's just a preference for you, Corey. Is that what you're saying?
According to Pat,
Yep.
my brain is racist and only likes non-white women, apparently, even though my wife is white.
I said black and white women. I did not know you liked Asians as well.
I mean, is there a reason not to?
Maybe if you don't have that preference.
I mean, apparently I do because I just talked about 75 weeb games that are on my list. Unicorn Overlord also is on my list.
So good.
No, I think no. You're just a creep if all you like is digital Asian women. You're just a creep.
Well, I like real women. Anyway, Pat, what are you playing? Help me, get me out of here.
He sounds like the gay dude is trying to justify how straight he is. Oh, I like real women.
I swear it's not about the 2D, guys. I like 3D as well. I feel like sandbags.
I like the polygons. Pat, what are you playing?
I have been on a little indie trip this last week because a lot of good indies came out within the last week. It sucks that Stephanie isn't here because I know she's played several of these as well, and she'll probably be talking about them the next time she's on the show. But the first one is Animal Well, the game by Billy Basso that we had the privilege of interviewing while we were at PAX. He's a really cool guy. He has spent over 7 years working on this game all by himself. He literally did everything from the programming, the building up the engine, the music, the puzzles. Like this is his baby. And there is so much going on in this game. Like it is an 8-bit pixelized game, but it has got so much detail going on in the environments and just how things interact with each other. And it's simple to play. The game is very intuitive. Like you find something, you test it out, and you understand exactly what that tool can do, such as firecrackers. Like they show it given to you. What do? Oh, they can actually scare off bad guys away. I got a yo-yo. What can this thing do? Well, this thing has the ability to hit switches that are in maybe very unique spots by kind of like rolling on the walls and up the ceiling, or like, down below if the switch is below on a ledge. Um, it's, you try things out and you come up with this, like, it's that light bulb effect that you get in your mind, and it's brilliant. It is very non-linear though. You kind of get an idea that you need to go into like one of four paths to find the MacGuffin that you need to beat the game. Um, but as for which ones you get or where you choose to go first, that's completely up to you. I'm getting the feeling that each path does have an item that will help you progress further down both that path, and I think also maybe one other path as well to get to the eventual like boss of that kind of like section of the world.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of light bulb moments. This game is a game that makes you kind of think and how to progress, or if it's something that you're not quite sure if you can do, you move on, you do something else, and then all of a sudden you will find that tool that you need to continue on further through the level, and then you do it. Like, it is absolutely brilliant,
Nice.
and highly recommend that people check this game out. Like, yeah, this is like the quality of AAA developers, but done by one guy. Like, it's amazing what he did with it.
Billy Basso.
Billy Basso, hope to have him on the show.
Yep. I thought about reaching
It's
out
funny
to
because
him.
I'm such a nerd that the first time
Shocker.
I heard his name, I was like Billy Batson, Shazam. Like, are y'all trying to say this guy's like a
Mhm.
superhero with the way he developed his game and whatnot?
This
Maybe
guy
he
is
is.
a fucking superhero.
Maybe he is, LeRon.
Hmm.
You don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Isn't
no,
wait, Billy Batson, is that like that's what,
that's
Shazam?
Shazam.
hmm
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this stuff. Especially DC. After Superman and Batman, it's like, who are you?
Okay, so you did not watch you didn't watch the Justice League?
I did. It was boring. I kind of fell asleep. It was
Okay.
4.5 hours long.
Cause I thought because I could have sworn like it was kind of like a blink and miss moment for Shazam in that movie, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember.
In Justice League, he wasn't in that.
No, it
He
was
wasn't in that one at all?
No,
Martian Manhunter was in it
Okay.
for
I
that's
never
if
I
you
never watched it.
Martian
I never
Manhunter's
watched the
only in
movie.
the Snyder cut.
the best DC stuff was on the CW, and then they killed it. So
Yeah, I never watched the Justice League movie because I was like, number one, I was like, I feel like the DC stuff was such a dumpster fire. The DC cinematic universe is a dumpster fire.
sure it is.
And then I was like, so I had no interest. Actually, what killed my interest in the Justice League, honestly, was the whole fiasco of Batman versus Superman. Like, I was like, this eh, even not even if we rule out the fans of like the actual comics and all that stuff and the original media and stuff like that, even regular people just could not get into that movie. Like it just made absolutely no sense. Um, and I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm checking out. And then when I said the Snyder cut was coming, I was like, nope, I'm definitely checking out that one.
It's fair.
Well, if you didn't get enough Snyder cut, there's always Rebel Moon, which is Snyder cut Star Wars
Are
Yeah,
they
and
well?
farming.
They didn't release the director's cuts of those movies yet.
No, not
Mm,
yet, but I think they're supposed to.
I think they got R-rated ones.
I think
Yeah.
Netflix has already ruined the decision to have gone with him on that stuff.
I,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
think just
They look like movies I would watch.
They're
I
like movies I would watch too, but I've heard they're incoherent sci-fi movies.
Yeah,
mhm.
I don't think they're as bad as people say they are, but they're not exactly great. Yeah, it's like a good popcorn movie to have on while you're
Yeah, yeah.
playing a game or something. But
I hear the running joke about the second one is that the grain gets more character development than the characters.
Oh
I haven't
Jesus,
seen the second one yet.
Jesus.
That the movie's literally half farming.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, a game that's not about farming is Little Kitty Big City, another indie game that came out where you play as a cat who accidentally rolled over and fell down to street level, and now he needs to figure out how to get back up, but he can't because he doesn't have the energy to climb. You have to find him fishies in the city so that he gets energy slash stamina meters like Zelda, so he can climb on walls.
How is this not Stray?
Uh, one because it's
Feels
cheerful.
like practically the same premise.
Kind of,
Premise?
but Stray was definitely a lot darker of a story compared to Little Kitty and Big City. The animals here are cutesy. Um, Everything in the environment's not trying to kill you, and it's just a little sandbox where you can go around and you can do little cat things, such as either like
Cat
trip
things.
people, make them mad, jump on keyboards, take random cat naps
Okay,
on
that's better than Stray.
sunshine.
That's better than Stray.
Oh, don't let Stephanie hear you say that.
Funny thing, I'd be interested to hear what Stephanie has to say about this game because I know she just beat it recently. Um, and also there's like 40 some hats that you can decorate your cat in,
Ooh.
and they range from cute to freaking adorable.
Hmm. Cute to freaking adorable.
Yep. Like you want your cat to have little ladybug antennas? You can. You want her to look like a crab? Yes, you can.
That's
You want
not
to
what I
put a
thought you were
little
gonna
hard
this
hat
game just come on. This game just lost its cool factor.
by wearing cute little hats on your cat that cover up their ears? Yeah.
I mean, I like.
That's on Game Pass too, isn't it?
I think. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
this one is a Game Pass. It's also on the Switch. Again, with the whole like fiasco right now with the Xbox, I chose to go with the Switch on this one. Um,
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
it, it's cheap on Switch too. It's like $20.
it wasn't too bad. But it's fun. It's sandbox. It's you do whatever you want, however you want. There are some missions. You run into other colorful characters, such as a chameleon that can he can't exactly hide himself very well, like his color wise, but he can somehow turn his words invisible. That was
Hmm.
actually pretty cool. Or a raccoon that somehow opens up a portal through space and time and helps you fast travel.
Space and time. Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
it's fun. Again, cute, fun. Definitely another chill game.
Hmm.
You know, all my games this week are animal themed. uh, the next indie game I checked out was something called Crow County, and this is a love letter to the old PlayStation style survival horror games. So it's got that feeling of like Resident Evil. It's got the creepiness of the monsters like Silent Hill, but this is done over through a like a 3/4 overhead view that you can kind of rotate the camera around.
Hmm.
You have control of your gun to kind of point in which direction to hit. So like getting headshots will cause more damage, and also the closer the monster is, the more damage you can cause. You know, kind of that risk reward factor.
Hmm.
However, it is again a love child to the old survival horror games, and your ammo is limited, and you may not want to completely waste an entire clip on one monster when you can actually just kind of go around them. And that might be a better strategy. It takes place in this old abandoned amusement park where the owner has gone missing, and this was kind of like the last place that he was at, that he was located in. But it's closed down because of some incidences that happened, and now there's creepy monsters wandering around the fairground.
Hmm.
And so you need to go around and you solve puzzles like in the old traditional Resident Evil style, find memos, and just kind of like explore and progress further.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you want to check out if you're a fan of the old school survival horror games.
Nice.
Okay.
hmm And then finally, I've Endless Ocean had a special event going on over the weekend called Song of the Sea Dragons. It is a map where you have. Um, it is a map where you. It's set rather than being randomly generated, and it's got very unique creatures that I'm kind of wondering now if they hold back some of the fish that you can find specifically for these events. Um, but it was fun. It's one of the maps though that you have to join in with other people, which is interesting. There's just people swimming around. They kind of uncover the map for you. They can leave tags on like either like salvage that they find, or if there's a unique creature that they found, they might tag that as well. And all your scans are kind of like joined together. Um, so if they're scanning parts of the map, those fish are considered scan in your database as well. Well, you still have to get an actual individual fish to show up in your like logs. You still have to scan it, but just in terms of like completionist sake, that creature has been scanned for the completion of the map. And another interesting thing about having multiplayer is that you don't have unlimited time on the map. You have, I believe, 20 minutes to
Mm.
scan these creatures, find what you can find before the game's like, okay, time's up. You know, play again sometime.
It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, but
Nice.
there were some really cool ones like the title character, the song dragon, or sorry, the sea dragon is kind of like a ancient white whale creature. And there are some other unique sharks and other things that you could find that I haven't been able to find in like the main game yet. So it was cool. I hope they kind of come up with these events a little more often. But this was the first one since the game's been released, so I will definitely be checking more out later.
Nice.
Not bad.
Love it. Love it.
Yep.
All right, guys. We're gonna. Is that all you've been playing? Sorry, Pat. I didn't
Yeah.
really cut you. Okay.
That new stuff, anyways.
Nice. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/bossrushnetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network. All right, we're going to get into our topic, which is the age-old argument. I know LeRon's been itching to talk about this for weeks because it's been in the topic of the show for weeks and we just haven't gotten to it because we spent too long on other segments. The argument of PC versus console gaming. LeRon, I'm not starting with you.
Okay,
I'm starting with Clint, mostly because I want to learn what kind of gamer he is, and
Me too.
he's our guest. Yeah,
Curious.
because you made a lot of comments about Xenoblade, which makes me think you lean a little bit Nintendo, but also like for some reason I think besides Switch, I feel like you got that Final Fantasy 14 shirt on. I'm thinking you're probably more of a PC person. So
Yeah.
where are you?
I'm everywhere. Ever since I was a kid, it's been a terrible addiction. So I've got the Xbox, the PS5, the Switch, which is it collects dust.
Oh man, you are like an equal
That-
opportunity gamer.
Sadly. Yes, yeah. I don't want to miss anything. I want to try out every little thing that I can. But definitely PC Master Race all the way for me. Personally, but I don't look negatively on the consoles. It's just like I prefer PC just for the graphics power, frames, not having to worry about it, the extra things I can do, modding, stuff like that, the ease of, I mean, Discord's pretty much integrated pretty well into the consoles now, but just the ease of Discord, having several, windows open on a second monitor while I'm playing my game and stuff. So I'm definitely PC mainly, I would say. And then on the PlayStation 5 is basically my first party. That's pretty much all I play on it. Xbox's Game Pass, checking out games on there. But some games I prefer on TVs or sitting down, like JRPGs, stuff like that. Like Assassin's Creed type games, prefer playing those on like the TV.
Mhm.
But shooters, I can't do it on console. Can't do it. It has to be PC mouse and keyboard for me.
Can I? I have to tell you something about shooters on PC. So when I do boot my Mac into Windows mode, and I loaded up Destiny, and I tried really, really, really hard to use mouse and keyboard, and I could not do it. I just could not do it. So I plugged an Xbox controller into my PC.
Yeah, no shame that I've got a couple of friends that PC only, and for some shooters they are Xbox controller, and other ones they'll do keyboard and mouse. It's all personal preference. It's whatever makes you happy and makes you comfortable.
Yeah, it's keyboard and mouse is for Roller Coaster Tycoon only. So which is, oh my gosh, I love Roller Coaster Tycoon so much. By the way,
Good one.
they really messed up the Mac version of that game.
Oh, did they?
And like it sucks because like I we interviewed Atari at PAX, and we were talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon's 25th anniversary and how much I love Roller Coaster Tycoon, but man, the Mac version is just so bad. Because like the Mac version of Roller Coaster Tycoon is just the phone version upscaled to work on Mac OS.
Hey Corey, I need to tell you something.
And the Steam version does not work on 64-bit machines. It only works on
Really?
32-bit machines for some reason. And it has
Oh,
not been updated. So,
that's awful.
if you're playing on Mac, not PC, I'm
Ah.
sure it works fine on PC. Also, I'm really interested in the open source RTC stuff, which looks really interesting, but that's another. What, LeRon?
Nothing. I don't want to say anything.
What? This is your topic. Unleash on
No.
me. Come on.
I don't want to say anything. Gaming is not where it is even close to needing to be at on Mac because
Well, no, I know that.
yeah, I mean, you're talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon, a game that's old as shit, and because
Yeah, 25 years old.
yeah, and you know what, like because Mac, is like for the most part OpenGL, like yeah, that's the issue.
Mhm.
Like you need like you need like at best Intel or AMD graphics. I'm not even talking about Nvidia. You need those drivers.
Yep, drivers.
I mean, I feel like Mac is
I'm a driver. I drove to work today.
I feel like Apple is just starting to turn the corner about getting back into that space, but like still.
Well, they're developing their own version of that Proton
Oh, I know. I know they
thing.
are.
So I don't remember what it's called because I really don't care. But
Apple makes wonderful production computers. They do.
Yeah.
They do. They make wonderful production computers, but everyday man computers, like they're not going to be that. And that's why they charge that premium price.
Yeah. Pat,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of all over the place, but you're more console person.
I can't play on a PC for the life of me, mostly because I don't understand the whole optimizations and stuff like that. For me, I like it simple. Just give me a console, let me play my games. Like the only thing you have to worry about is switching a disc maybe, or is deleting stuff if I have too much memory. And I'm fine. Like I felt I feel like a PC, it becomes outdated almost the second you get it and you need something better. And
That's
it's
a lie. That's a lie.
it,
It hasn't been like that since RAM has been on DDR3.
well, you gotta remember, I grew up in the 90s, so the next game usually needed a brand new PC to be able to play it. So,
Man, I had a Dell.
yeah.
Came in a big cow box. That was
Mm-hmm.
cool.
That was it. The gateways or whatever they were called.
Yeah.
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 So,
yeah, a Gateway, not a Dell. Gateway. Yeah. That was
cow
fun.
box.
Yeah. They gave us some plush cows with it.
I do remember those.
My cousin and I were so excited because we each got one.
Did that one last you longer than a year?
I don't remember. Probably.
Remember
But
the
we
slogan?
weren't ever allowed to use it. So.
Dude, you got to get a Dell. But I am, because of like review codes are pretty much on Steam and stuff, I really should look into getting a Steam Deck because you don't have to optimize those, right? That's pretty much guaranteed to play most things.
There's
know.
optimization in it. Like
I know.
trust
There
me,
is.
Steam is like beginner level like PC.
Man, the thing that got me today actually that was like, man, I should just invest in a Steam Deck and just shut up and do it was I got an email from Pat's favorite developer Toge today.
I got that email too.
Yeah, with all the Steam codes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can I have access to his email?
Well, LeRon, if you were nice and went to PAX with us, maybe you could have met them and you could have gotten your own codes for those too.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I can, if you want, LeRon, since I don't have Steam.
Don't try to appease me.
Okay, fine. I'll just use them myself.
You better give me access to the email.
Nope. It's my personal email. What are you talking about?
You know what I mean. You better forward the damn email.
I do highly recommend a space for the Unbound.
Yeah,
which is one of the codes he gave you.
Yeah, which was the one I was like looking at. Yeah. Even though I think I own it somewhere. I own it somewhere. Maybe I don't. I don't know.
I own it twice over. And debating on doing the third.
We're doing a great job at fighting each other on console versus PC right now.
I know.
I think.
Well, no, it's because you haven't allowed me to speak yet.
I know it's because I know you have the most to say, and it's probably the most logical and the most thought out from a PC standpoint. And I'm trying to get my dumb, idiot, stupid brain to say words about console gaming. Here's the thing for me, and I know there's a huge asterisk to this because big picture mode exists, Steam Link exists, apps exist to stream it to your TV or whatever, right? I get all that. I want to sit on the couch. I paid a lot of money for this giant ass TV in my basement and this sound bar, which, by the way, Xbox does not work with. I'm also pissed about that, but that's a different conversation about that anyway. I paid a lot of money for that. I want to sit and I want to play games on that, right? I love watching the LED lights turn colors when I'm playing Xenoblade because that game is super colorful. I love watching the green kind of, filter around when I'm playing Zelda. I love watching the red particle effects fly around my TV when I'm playing Destiny and I kill someone with the Outbreak Perfected. Like, it's just, I want to sit there on my couch and play, right? But when it comes to other things on PC, there are games that I would really like to play that I know are PC centric games, like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yes, we can all have a fun laugh about that, but I love that game. Or Final Fantasy 14 is a game I've been wanting to get into for a long time and I've wanted to play. But like, I feel like I shouldn't be playing that on console. Yes, LeRon.
You do know a television, no matter what size it is a glorified computer monitor. You do know that, right?
Oh my gosh, see, this
you
is,
do know that, right?
This is why I prefaced my entire conversation, LeRon.
You can HDMI out from your computer to your television, and then all the colors from your what is
back in the 90s that was not possible.
What'd you buy? What did you buy? What'd you buy? LifeX? I forget what was the light kit you bought. It wasn't Govee. What was it? LifeX?
No, it was Nanoleaf.
Yeah, Nanoleaf, which that's just badass, by the way. Like you actually are making me want to buy one of those. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like all that stuff can still happen.
That's why I prefaced my entire thing with a huge asterisk because I know big picture mode exists and Steam Link and HDMI out exists. LeRon. But of course, again, I know, just like my wife, you're not listening to me.
This is this gonna be so funny when I start talking my piece about this, because like
I know.
No. The reason why is because like I'm not really gonna fight you guys on it. That's the problem.
No, and here's the thing. This is everybody out there listening. This is all in good fun. because
No,
I
Ethan,
I
I'm
can
deeply
see
offended.
I can see the comments right now. I just I think Discord integration and everything on the consoles really made it easier to kind of like not wonder about PC gaming, right? Uh, because Xbox has it integrated into the dashboard. PlayStation, it's somewhere in there, I assume. Uh, I don't know PlayStation's UI well enough to dig through, but
It's there. It's there.
um, it's just something that like I just don't want to sit. I sit at a desk all day to work. I sit at a desk to do these podcasts and edit the shows and stuff. I just want to go sit on my couch and play on my couch. And also like Pat said, the whole optimization stuff mixed with like having to spend this much money on a PC, and then you have to spend like the cost does not include a graphics card, it does not include monitors, it apparently doesn't include power cables or power supplies either, according to the previous build. um
Wait, what?
Wait a minute.
I'll tell you after we're done recording. I don't want to get into it right now because it'll actively make me angry. Um, just the ease of plug and play type stuff just makes it so much. Although the consoles are getting that way now too, and it's kind of like I just want to play the game. So maybe PlayStation 4 Pro will fix all of that, and I will not have to pick optimization options. Think that'll happen?
No.
Okay. All right, LeRon. You can
Okay,
go now.
so I want to preface this by saying that even though like every now and then you'll see tweets and posts from me that have hashtag PCMR or PC Master Race and all that stuff, like I'm honestly not out to bash like anybody as far as their preference, whether it's console or PC gaming and stuff like that. Like I kind of swim in both ecosystems and stuff like that. I have a Switch, I have a PS5, and I have a PC, of course, and stuff like that. The one thing, and Pat, you kind of hit the nail on the head about it. Like like it's something about optimizations and stuff like that. I get it. I understand that
It
because
scares the shit out of me.
well, yeah, because like like it all depends on the level of enthusiasm for how you want to play the game. Now you guys have heard me say like throughout the years that like I want to play I want to have the best experience ever for playing the game and stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, sometimes I spend money on that. Like sometimes I'm just sitting there trying to wring blood from a rock because like guys, I was playing Cyberpunk 2077 with an RTX 2070 Super when everyone knows like you need a 30 series for good play, you need a 30 series graphics card. I mean, like if you're on the internet anywhere as far as Cyberpunk goes for PC gaming back when it launched, like you need a 30 series graphics card. I was playing on a 20 series graphics card, and even though I love 60 frames per second gaming and stuff like that, I was playing at 40 frames. It wasn't really hurting my feelings and stuff like that. And I was still having a good time. The game looked great and everything, you know. Um, yeah, but I also get it. There is cost. But the good thing about modern PC these days though is like now like even though graphics cards are expensive as hell, like a graphics card can literally take you from we're in the PS5 Xbox series generation of gaming. Graphics cards that were viable during the PS4 gaming era can play all these games that are out right now. Can play every single one of them, and I'm talking about 20 series graphics cards, some 10 series. Hell, the the GTX 1060 from Nvidia was the workhorse of the graphics card market, and it dominated for so many waves and years of games and stuff like that. It's crazy, Now the 1060 is finally obsolete, for gaming and stuff like that. Of course, like certain AMD lines, like RX, like the RX 570s and stuff like that. Yeah, that too. But also like I just see sometimes what the companies do, to make their games work, on the console side, and it's insane because like like we've literally seen it. We've got PlayStation and Xbox gamers that are bitching that none of the games are like playing at 60 frames per second and stuff like that. They're bitching about that, and it's quote unquote low quality games that don't need all the power that they're using and stuff like that. And they're getting 30 frames. But they've got televisions that are 60, 120, 240, or variable refresh rate and stuff like that. And so like there's people that are complaining about that stuff because it's like, okay, I'm playing it on the PS5 or the Xbox Series, and like it's slogging because like they can see like half the frame rate of what their TV is pushing out, you know, things like that. um One of the main reasons why I'm a PC gamer is because once I actually got into my job where I'm an IT guy, once I got into my job and I actually started learning and understanding about the technology and stuff like that, it was always fascinating. It was also fascinating to see how console games were ported over to the PC, and you saw how things were locked off because like the developers had developed the game for the console first, and then he just immediately just like pushed it on the PC. Sometimes it was a buggy mess, and literally all you had to go and just find the INI file and fix the developer's problem for you and stuff like that. Things like that. And it's not even like you need to know coding. That's the crazy part about it. But the one thing I will honestly say that I feel like is the reason why like I am a professed PC gamer in this day and age is because I can play every game that I want to play without worrying about obsolescence. I don't need to go back and find the Sega Saturn or Super NES and stuff like that.
To be fair,
And
nobody
I'm
needs
not
to go
talking
back
no
and
no I'm
find
not
Sega
talking about
Saturn.
emulators. I'm not talking about emulators. I'm not even looking at that. I'm just saying like let's think about this for a second. The only way to without emulators in the equation, the only way to play Super Mario World Yoshi's Island is to have a Super Nintendo or a Game Boy Advance,
That's not
or
true. It's on
have
Switch now.
I was about to say, or have access to Switch and Nintendo Switch Online. I was about to say that, but what I'm saying is those are all ports. Just imagine they never ported it. You'd have to go back and have that hardware and that technology and stuff like that. Whereas the library in like Steam, GOG, EA Play, all that stuff, they're there until they get delisted because of some dumb shit like like, oh, we no longer have the rights to the music. Rest in peace, Burnout Paradise.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
you can argue that consoles are trying to get there, right? I mean,
consoles are trying to
that's
get
what
there, but
they're trying to do now, right? I mean,
yeah.
that's what Xbox has been trying to push. That's what PlayStation is currently trying to rectify, right? I mean,
Yeah, they're trying to get they're trying to get there. And the reason why they're trying to get there is because like they're now on the same platform and architecture that PC is. That was the main reason that was the main reason that was holding it all back. That was why backwards compatibility was a nightmare for Sony and Xbox to a certain degree and stuff like that. Nintendo's always done their own thing, but one of the main reasons why like backwards compatibility was such a bad thing, and technically it still is kind of thorn, particularly in Sony's side, is because like everybody had to have their own unique engine, for their consoles. Xbox From Xbox the 360 to Xbox One and stuff like that, they had their own architecture. We all know PlayStation had crazy ass architecture. It wasn't a cell engine one point, it was the freaking emotion engine at another point, all this stuff, and like backwards compatibility was just a dumpster fire, stuff like that. Now the consoles are actually on the same architecture that PC development is on, stuff like that. It's getting easier, and it's going to get much easier. Trust me. PS4, PS5 are going to play no problems on PS6. Of course, Xbox is going to work their omni domdi like voodoo, to make sure they have all this backwards compatibility that they've been had since 360 and stuff like that. Nintendo, if Nintendo is smart, they will not have messed with the hardware that much to knock out everybody's Switch games and
well,
their digital library.
that's the VGC just kind of put out that big story about Switch's hardware, kind of what's been shipping for them and what's kind of going to Nintendo and stuff, and everything points.
I haven't really been reading all of it yet because I'm waiting for
Yeah,
Nintendo to come
well,
out and say something.
I mean, we just had talked about it on Pal Block the past week, and it's basically it's going to be just a way more powerful Nintendo Switch that's backwards compatible digitally and physically. It's going to have the parts.
How many teraflops is it pushing this time?
VGC said it's going to be the parts that are shipping for it right now are about as powerful as an Xbox Series S and as fast.
I don't mean to offend Xbox gamers, but that's kind of a slap in the face.
It's powerful for Nintendo.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
especially
true.
for handheld.
That's true.
It also, if its primary function is a handheld, like Clint just said, like that's I really don't care, right? As long as it plays my Nintendo games still. As my biggest thing is that I just want more power, and I want it to play my Nintendo games, and I want to play them. I want to play my old games on this console too. You know, I'm
With
tired of having to
achievements and
buy.
faster loading times.
I don't want to buy Twilight Princess for the 5th time.
But you will.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, but you will. Yeah.
No, I have to buy it for the 4th time first.
Well, yeah, but
that game.
Yeah, but ultimately, what I'm saying is, like PC gaming is also not the promised land of gaming. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I have so many headaches, and going back to the whole optimization thing that Pat was talking about. Yeah, like, do you guys know how I could not just you guys know how much like I wanted to play Dead Space remake when it came out? Do you guys know I did not actually play it for seriously for like the first 2 hours because I was tweaking all the settings.
The first
like I was
2
going in there.
hours.
I was like I was like it downloaded it down because I had it on preload. It downloaded. I turned it on, started up, and then I was like, okay, now I gotta see. Okay, like yep, ray tracing's on. Okay, what impacts the performance there? Then I had the screen space reflection, all that stuff. Oh yeah, I got to a point where I was happy with it because there are some people who will take it a lot further than what I do. Like there's some people like if it ain't hitting 120 frames, they're not playing it, and stuff like that. Be glad I'm not that type of madman. I'd never be able to play a game if I was that way. I want my games 60 frames or better. I don't need like the full 240 refresh rate that my monitor gives me and stuff like that.
My thing with frame rate, real quick before you continue, is I understand like this. Obviously, the Switch is running at like most of the games are 30 or under 30, except for some of Nintendo's games, right? But like, as long as it's a smooth 30, there's definitely smooth
though.
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is 30 frames, and it's pretty smooth for the most part.
30 frames per second, it's not smooth.
Here's the thing,
like
though.
you see digital judder at 30 frames. Like we're just so used to it because we've grown up playing games that were at like that frame rate or worse.
I'm trying to get to my point here, LeRon.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Can I go? Are you done?
I'm being quiet.
I know. But I think there are different standards for different consoles, right? And Nintendo has made us have a different set of expectations across the board. It's less powerful, all these other kinds of things that we could go down the rabbit hole with. But when you get to the Series X and the PlayStation 5, there's a whole nother set of expectations that some people argue they are failing those expectations with, especially frame rate. Like Hellblade is going to be 30 frames on Xbox, which people are upset about. Starfield was 30 frames until this week with that patch drop. Yeah. And PlayStation had some games running at 30 at some point. So like people, I think the expectations of 60 frames is legitimate, and I would absolutely prefer most of my games run at 60 or higher, right? I also think it depends on the platform. Like if you're playing a handheld, like I know a lot of games on Steam Deck run somewhere between 30 and 40, depending on what kind of settings you pick. LeRon, you talk about the ROG Ally all the time and how you have to try to find that sweet spot of frame rate.
Yeah, I do because I worry about performance at that point. Okay. Number one, the ROG Ally is not the most powerful thing out there. I'm going to say that right now.
No, I'm not aware.
In all honesty, all those PC handhelds, including the Steam Deck, they all have essentially the same stuff pushing it. So whether it's the Steam Deck, whether it's the ROG Ally, whether it's the Lenovo Legion Go, whether it's the MSI Claw, please don't get an MSI Claw, by the way. Please don't get one.
Why not?
You know,
Don't do it.
yeah, yeah, they all essentially have the same specs. And they also all have the same amount of RAM. RAM is actually what makes the difference in your gaming system. And it doesn't matter if it's a PC or a console or a handheld, any of that stuff, like Ioneos or all that stuff, like all the emulator handhelds and stuff like that. Like some of those are like very woefully deficient in RAM, but they're running emulators so they can get away with it. Whereas the PC portables are running actual operating systems. And the operating systems always need a cached amount of the RAM that's going to be used, and the rest of it, if it doesn't have a standalone graphics chip, and none of these guys do, they're all APUs. APUs are basically CPUs that have graphical function. Apple calls them integrated. You know, unless you're buying it with an actual built-in GPU in it, like a gaming laptop, and those things are woefully expensive. I mean, like I was looking for I was looking at gaming laptops but I needed something that can go toe to toe with my PC. Every gaming laptop I looked at that could go toe to toe or at least keep up my gaming PC was more expensive than what I did to build my computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, but right now all the PC handhelds basically have the same specs. And when I say basically, I mean, yeah, you're going to look at one and see, okay, if this is more than that one and stuff like that. But by the end of the day, like they all have the same amount of RAM because they have to push the same amount of stuff. They also have the same batteries, the Steam Deck OLED has a nice ass battery. That's why I'm saying, like, if you can hold out and wait for the ROG Ally, that new ROG Ally is going to have a nice ass fucking battery and some other tricks up its sleeve,
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
so yeah, I mean,
so
it is what it is. Like everybody has to put up with their headaches. Nintendo gamers see Xbox and PlayStation gamers, and they have their headaches about why aren't our games like this and stuff like that. PC gamers see it's like the stable ecosystem of Xbox and PC and stuff like that. And we're like, man, why can't we get that sometimes? Stuff like that. Why are we always getting like shitty ports, or why are we always getting stuff that's like half-assed out the gate? And I know all gamers deal with that because shit, like for every PC gamer that's pissed off about City Skylines 2, there was a million of you guys out there pissed off about that last Pokemon game.
jeez. No, yeah, and it didn't stop from selling 20 million units.
Yeah, well, you see, that's another problem.
Yeah, I know.
That's a gamer specific problem, not a gaming specific, a gamer specific problem.
Yeah.
But
LeRon,
it also doesn't help that there's like 150 trillion damn pieces of hardware out there for Nintendo Switch.
yeah. Speaking of Switch, I put the link to the VGC article in the chat. Under that first advertisement, LeRon, is the listings for supposedly the specs of the next model. I don't know.
6 GB RAM chip, which total of 12. So it's gonna have 12 gigs of RAM, but they don't know if it's LPDDR5 or 5X yet. Okay. The Switch had 4, that's triple the RAM technically.
Yeah.
Another you list 256 gigabyte storage. That would be UFS 3.1, which is potentially speeds at 20. Okay, so that's
UFS, is that unified flash storage? Is that what that means?
yes, yeah.
Okay. I thought so, but I just
yeah, so that's not that's generation 2 SSD speeds. Because Gen 3 started about 3,500. Compared to 32 gigs of storage, around 300 megabits per second. 300 megabytes per second. That's SATA speeds. That's DDR2 technology in the PC world. Let's see. Comparisons, particularly because Nintendo's next console will use NVIDIA tech and ARM architecture. Okay, NVIDIA Tech and ARM architecture. ARM architecture it's called SoCs, system on a chip, which means like it's your CPU, it's your graphics card, and it's some other stuff. And I say graphics card very loosely because like
Yeah.
it has a graphics push, it has graphics tech in there and stuff like that. But this is where the whole thing about the balancing act with the RAM comes, because the RAM's going to be needed. However much RAM it gets, like a part of that has to be allocated to run the operating system, and the rest is going to be for graphics. So if we in a perfect world, like you want to split it half and half, for CPU and GPU performance and stuff like that. But with Nintendo Switch, and this is not me just dissing the Nintendo Switch, they can probably get away with 4 gigs of the available RAM for the operating system side, and I feel like that's a very hefty allocation. And then the other 8 goes to that. They'll have a nice system. As a matter of fact, they'll have basically
4 gigs for the operating system for Nintendo's. Have you seen Nintendo's operating system?
I know. That's why I said I'm being super generous. As a matter of fact, I'm
My
like
floppy disks from 3rd grade probably could run their operating system.
When I say I'm being generous about those specs, think Santa Claus at an orphanage on Christmas Eve generous. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, well, that seems, I don't know. Seems like an after dark topic to me, but there's
Wow.
yeah. I don't know. I just yeah. I talked enough about the Nintendo
And
Switch.
also, by the way, for everyone listening out there, I'm not an expert. I work in a field that
You're not?
I'm not. I work in a field that demands I be an expert, but I'm not an expert. I just know enough. I just know enough to understand like a lot of things. Like if this damn thing has DLSS, which I'm hearing is not going to have DLSS, but it's going to have an equivalent. That scares me right there.
It's not straight up DLSS.
Exactly.
I know that from other reasons.
Yeah. So that alone scares me, because that means they're going to do some hocus pocus, and then just like with how the Switch now is, where like in its 7th year now, it's starting to like really struggle with like modern games, even though technically I feel like if it's within the same console generation, it's still a modern game. So I don't understand. It's always been a modern game, so I don't understand why they're struggling now with their newer games. Like, come on, these developers know how to program for these fucking systems. Like, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah.
I almost feel like they're staging a protest. They made these games the way they are to kind of push Nintendo to say it's time for new hardware.
But here's the but, and we can wrap this topic up because we have questions and new segments to get to, and then we also have After Dark to record. So, but Nintendo's console and the way they make games and the way they've been handling everything since, I would argue, I guess the Wii, but maybe even the GameCube, is like they're not laying people off. They're not over budgeting for games. They're not really delaying games anymore all that much.
They can't over budget the game if the game if the system is basically a potato.
I mean, look, Xbox has laid off like 3,000
nearly
people.
2,000 people.
It's almost 3 now.
Oh, okay.
Because it was initially 19. This is what the last round of layoffs was like 1,900, and then they just closed 4 studios, which I know some of those employees are being reallocated and merged with other studios, whatever. But then last year they had other layoffs too. The Bethesda round, that was like, we don't need 3 accounting departments, we only need 1.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. So like it's closer to 2,500 at this point. But like, I don't know. I think in the long run, from keeping talent, from just retaining talent, retaining smart budgeting decisions, no matter how much you want Link to talk, not hiring Troy Baker probably saved them a ton of money. Okay, just saying.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna jump in here though, just briefly to talk about cultural differences.
I know.
I was gonna.
Nintendo can't lay people off.
Yeah, you were reading my mind.
In Japan,
you were reading my mind, Pat.
They could lay off like Nintendo of America people and stuff like that, but they can't. Japan has laws that you cannot lay them off. If you make someone an employee, they are stuck with you until they quit.
Until they
Like,
leave
Yeah.
or die.
yeah,
No, I know.
typical Japanese practice is to literally take away work from that person so that they get bored enough to quit. However, I will say though, Nintendo is still doing a good job in the fact that yes, they have not had to go out and lay off people in Nintendo Europe or Nintendo of America. We have constantly also seen the better behavior of CEOs cutting their salaries to make goals. Like they do actually have good ideas of future, long run plans. So it is a better managed system.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you said that, Pat, because I was actually coming to that because Corey was definitely trying to like glorify something there with Nintendo.
That's
and
not
it's like,
true. I was getting to points
Out of the
that
three,
Pat
though,
covered.
Nintendo is definitely kicking the most ass.
I was getting to points that Pat brought up. So
Sure,
Glad I
Jan.
can contribute.
Whatever you say, Jan.
LeRon, I'm gonna fight you. Anyways,
I'm sorry if I'm so rowdy tonight. I'm sorry.
we're all rowdy tonight. Clint, you showed up for a good show.
I like it. I like it.
All right. So, does anybody else have anything to say about this topic before we move on to our next new segment?
I do.
Oh.
I do. Play games the way you love to play the games.
Aw.
Seriously. Play them where you want to play them. Play them where you play them how you want to play them. Play them the way you feel they should be played and stuff like that. But stop telling other people how the fuck they should play their games and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because in all seriousness, like we're all here to have fun, and with the way the gaming economy is going, we might not have fucking video games to play in 5 years. So be thankful and download some fucking emulators because it's gonna get rough.
Jeez. After he just got done telling us to play games where we want to play them, download emulators. By the way, did you see RetroArch and PPSSPP are now on the iPhone?
Yes.
Which was interesting.
Well, Apple kind of did something that I'm pretty sure like Nintendo's not too happy about.
Well, they had to due to European laws and
Yeah.
there's some other territory that made them do that. So it's not their fault, asterisks, I guess. But anyways, buy your Xbox games on PlayStation, everybody. I hear they are selling well over there, unlike on Xbox.
Buy your PlayStation games on PC. Oh, speaking of which, how dare Square Enix like blame PlayStation for why they're doing bad this past year?
I thought about
How dare they?
I thought about making that my thing for next segment, which is get it together and good job, team. This is a new segment that I ripped straight from two other podcasts that I listen to that are called Other Things. And I haven't come up with a good title for this one yet. So title change pending. This is where we get to complain about one thing happening in the video game industry and then congratulate one thing happening in the video game industry. So, Clint, I'm going your way first again.
All right. Get it together, PSN. So yeah, I guess Sony too. With their whole pushing the PSN on Steam, which I get. They have a new dashboard coming out, especially with Ghost of Tsushima. Will allow trophies and everything like that. But with the Helldivers 2 controversy with, and I know it said right on Steam day one, like you will require a PSN network to have this, but they sold the game in 122 countries that do not have PSN, and you can't sign up for PSN. There's even countries that you can get PSN, but in order to make a PSN account, you have to have a PS4 or a PS5. Like Ukraine, you have to have a PS5 or a PS4 to make an account. You can't even just go online and just make it. So people who bought Helldivers in all these countries weren't allowed. They're not allowed to play the game anymore. They're shit out of luck. And now Ghost of Tsushima, even though it's mainly a single player game. Part of it is multiplayer, and they've just taken that single player game off the Steam, Green Man Gaming, all that for up to 122 countries, and it's just for me to me it seems like they just want PSN on there so they can bolster their numbers on when they come out with quarterly numbers and such. And I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me of like the Ubisoft stuff and the EA stuff where like, oh, you have to have an account with us to play the game. And it's like,
Yeah. And I mean, I get it. I have like an account for Red Dead, I have an account for Ubisoft, so I get that you have to have accounts, but I don't know. Especially as a dev for if you're releasing a game for Sony and they're like, "Hey, we want to push PC side. Now we're getting some good sales over there. Helldivers is their best-selling IP of all time." So,
which is
and a
crazy.
lot of that is PC players. So, coming from a dev team, do I want to make a game for Sony and not be able to release it to 122 countries when they put it on PC just because
Yes.
they want to push PSN?
Yeah,
You know?
Sony needs to figure that shit out fast because like
Yeah.
I think they're starting to learn right now that's fucking with their money.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
That
and I don't know why PSN would want to do that anyways, unless they want to push the numbers, but at the same point,
well that's because
you're
that's because
losing
right now like
122 countries.
yeah, I think right now it's because like your former chief financial officer is now your CEO. You know,
That's true.
Hiroki Totoki is technically the CEO for right now for all of PlayStation right now,
Right.
and Herman Holst is like I forget what his actual title is. I'm just gonna call him the director. You know,
Mm,
stuff like that. But yeah, like I mean, like you've got literal numbers guy actually the CEO of PlayStation right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Hiroki Totoki might be the reason why, like all of a sudden, we gotta like cram PSN down each other's throat. Uh, but all I'm saying is like it's really weird that like this happened after Jim Ryan stepped out,
mm,
and everybody loved to blame Jim Ryan for every fucking thing.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which by the way, in our closing segment of this episode, I got some words.
About what the dual CEO thing?
Huh?
Oh,
No, it's
oh,
not. No, it's not about that.
oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like yeah, Clint, I 100% agree with you. This whole PSN thing has been a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Ghost of Tsushima on PC anyway, so this ain't gonna stop me,
Right. Right.
I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people. I would gladly admit for the times I had PS3, PS4, and then the PS5. Yeah, I registered outside of my region.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a UK PSN
Yeah.
account. I got a
I want to
Japan
play the
PSN
game a
account,
day early. Let's do this.
and I got a Brazil PSN account.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They really got to get it together. I think like okay, sure, if you're looking at the numbers of PSN, right? And you're like, okay, well, 5% of our business is affected by these 122 countries or whatever, right? When 95 of our percent of our business is made in these, 40 countries or whatever. And it's like, well, that's still 122 countries that you're leaving out that is potential business,
Mm-hmm.
future business, especially when like maybe some of these countries are developing, or maybe
Right.
they are, maybe some sort of governmental shift will happen and they'll be able to bring these consoles in at some point or something. Some weird situation could happen where like these could be potential customers 5-10 years down the line, and like you're just locking them out to go do something else. And it's like, well, that
And it's
I
not
don't,
even just
they. I don't think they even like realized what the fuck they were doing until it was too late.
oh, I I
That's the
right.
guarantee.
And
sad
then
part.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't care or realize until Helldivers saw what was it, 140,000 negative reviews in like 48 hours.
Hmm.
And it's yeah, it's maybe it's only 5% of their money coming in or numbers from these 122 countries, but you pissed off like your entire player base.
For
Hmm.
real. Yeah.
And it just when people are bombing Helldivers. They're like, we all play together or we don't play at all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What a game to rally around too. That's all about like
right? Spreading democracy.
You couldn't have scripted it any better.
I really couldn't have.
Yeah. What's your great job?
And then right back to Helldivers. Great job for the indie devs this year. The president of Helldivers, basically sticking it to Sony during tweets and stuff while this whole PSN debacle was going down. And before the PSN debacle, Helldivers has a great monetary system. Like, you can get everything in that game by just playing the game. Yeah, you can buy credits and speed your way through it, but if you don't want to and just take your time, you can get everything there.
Yeah,
And
I
then
love
there's
the fact that there was like no true monetization system for that
right.
game. I love it.
It's so good. And then just indie devs this year have been Hades 2 just came out in early access, but it's more polished and cleaned and more content than some of the AAA games this year. Just so good. I just see a lot of indie games, even though they're indie, have like AAA quality to them. They might not have like Unreal 5 engine going for them and stuff, but the story and the gameplay is there. And what you buy for $20 because it's an indie game, you have everything. There's no season pass. There's no, some of them have microtransactions and stuff, but most of them don't. And it's just nice to see. I think indie devs are really pushing the game economy this year, for sure.
Yeah. Good one. LeRon, what about you? What's your get it together?
My get it together is unequivocally Microsoft.
Yep. It's mine too.
I mean, we can talk. I feel like if Sony was doing a boneheaded thing with the whole PSN fiasco, like Microsoft would literally said, "Hold my fucking beer,
Right.
hold my fucking beer, and
hold
watch
my
my
keg,
peanuts.
hold my case, hold my, here's my truck. Hold on, and here's the keys to the truck."
Yeah. And the sad part is, and I mentioned this in our conversation last week as this shit was unfolding and stuff like that, man. Like, I feel so bad for Sarah Bond.
I know.
I feel so bad. It was like they threw her to the wolves and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, she's part of the triumvirate, as I've heard, and stuff like that. These are the people who are making the decisions, for Xbox as a whole and everything, right? And yeah, I get it. They do have to answer to their stockholders and Satya Nadella. I get that. I do.
Yeah.
But the fact is, like, this stuff happens. This stuff happens right when people that handle their schedules and handle their PR knew that these people were literally getting ready to go talk to the press about other things, and they made themselves such a big fucking news cycle that the stuff they initially wanted to talk about was no longer on the menu and stuff like that. So we have Sarah Bond, who's a very intelligent, very well-rounded person, a very good business person, by the way, literally trapped literally
Right.
trapped, like a fox in the corner and all the hounds are there.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her watching that interview, and that was like a 40-minute Bloomberg interview. And then the sad part is, like, when she was talking about, like, they asked her a question, about the whole fiasco with Tango Gameworks.
Yeah.
And she basically, you could tell it was a party line thing, something that the PR company was like, "Hey, you say this like this, or you will be fired when you walk off that stage." So she gave that answer, and while this answer is happening and stuff like that, like the camera people that were recording it, they panned back to like to show the stage, and it showed all of Microsoft's like exponential growth.
Yeah.
During that time frame and stuff like that. Oh man.
Yeah.
And,
I have a question for you, LeRon.
yes.
And Clint, you can answer this too, because I feel like this is a pretty generalized question. How does Matt Booty still have a job?
Right?
I mean, like, Okay, Sarah.
He
Okay,
held that
so
town hall. He held that town hall,
I know.
and
It's like,
it's like, dude, literally 6 hours ago, y'all announced y'all let the studio that got y'all the most awards for the Xbox brand,
yeah, maybe
I
ever.
and you said
and
some shit
then
like that.
right, and then to come out saying like we really need small games that win us awards. That's what we want. And it's like, what?
And you see, that's how I knew it was a party line right there because Sarah Bond said that shit on stage too. That's
Right.
how I
Yeah,
knew it
Yeah.
was a fucking party line.
Yeah.
yeah. And then they're gonna come out at the Xbox event and say, we're all about the games and the gamers
Mhm.
and the things, and everybody's gonna be like, no, you're not. Get
You know
off
they're not even
stage.
going to talk about it.
I
I
love I love it just for the simple fact is like Corey, how many times have you, me, Pat, and Stephanie said on these shows that the gaming companies are not your fucking friends?
Yeah,
Right.
they're just not. And like, maybe, we kind of like have toyed around with like, well, Nintendo doesn't talk anymore, like there's no Reggie or no Iwata anymore, right? Or even Bill Trennan, right? There's no personality there anymore. Or Sony, like Shuhei Yoshida is relegated to like indie stuff now, and Gio Corsi left and Adam Boyd's left, and like there's no personality there anymore either. And it's like, well, maybe that's a good thing,
Right. Do we
because
really need
Xbox
it?
talks way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Clint, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, you're fine. It's like, do we, really need it? Like when Phil Spencer came in and, I will say basically saved Xbox. It was nice at that point to see somebody that seemed like they cared type of thing, but that seems what like Xbox has been doing with these showcases. Put someone higher up out there and make you feel like they're one of us type of deal. But bottom line is they want to
Yeah, yeah. It also feels like the shareholders are kind of like, like LeRon said, like Satya and Nadella, and like the shareholders, now that
They spent too
they
much
spent
money.
they spent $68.7 billion on Activision Blizzard.
Okay,
So
I looked at the adjusted costs for ZeniMax Bethesda and for Activision Blizzard. They
Mhm,
spent $100 billion.
mhm.
That's the adjusted cost.
I know, and it's like, they, now that you spent $100 billion of Microsoft's money, now the penny pinchers are paying attention, and you're
right.
not going to be able to get away with Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment, and even probably something like the Outer Worlds or something.
Well,
And
the other problem with gaming right now is like, why does everything have to be fucking AAA? I think we talked about this a few months ago. Why does everything have to be AAA?
I mean,
Because apparently that's the direction all major companies want to go for now.
yeah. So
Because that's the one that makes the money.
yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. We could spend a whole nother hour and a half on this topic, but I just that was my also get it together.
Get your shit together, Microsoft, for real. Because I mean, like in all honesty, you know, I don't even have advice for you guys. I don't even have advice for you guys because like Microsoft, you guys make so much money. You guys make more money than I can even like
Right.
dream of making, or even imagine making, or even try to wish I could make and stuff like that. Get your shit together before you wind up being the next fucking Sega.
Hmm.
The next fucking Sega. And
That
Sega went out on a
they are.
high note. You guys are not on a high note right now.
I mean, they're going to. They're going to. Um, what's your good job?
Capcom.
Ooh,
Capcom, great job. Great job. Capcom just announced their seventh consecutive year of record results, being pushed by like franchises like Resident Evil, Street Fighter, Dragon's Dogma, and of course the Monster Hunter franchise surpassing 100 million units sold. That's from 2004 up until now. 100 million units sold.
They've been putting out bangers.
Yeah, like
good.
Monster Hunter World alone sold 25 million units.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And Capcom, keep it up.
Yeah,
Keep it up. Like they're doing well right now. And I gotta say that. And Capcom has always been like one my favorite, like, my favorite publisher. Capcom's always been my favorite publisher.
yeah.
So yeah, just keep it up. Just just don't start, like huffing the glue or whatnot. Keep Keep your eyes on the prize and both hands on the wheel. That's all I gotta say about
Eyes on the
to the
prize, yep.
Capcom. Good job, guys. And where's my Monster Hunter 6?
I mean, isn't it?
It's called
releasing
Wilds.
Onimusha.
Yeah, isn't it coming next year? Isn't that the?
Yeah, I know.
Next year,
More
Um,
importantly, where the hell's my next Mega Man?
jeez. Yeah.
Well, the sad part is like we heard rumors, and then all of a sudden they shut up. It's almost like they start assassinating the people that were leaking rumors about the next Mega Man game.
Yeah. Well, I'll
I'm
just
ready
do.
for Mega Man 12.
Well, yeah. I'm just gonna do my great job right now because my get it together was Xbox. So I'm gonna say, and I can feel LeRon's eyes roll right now, but it's okay. I'm gonna say, great job, Nintendo. I feel like the Switch era is coming to an end. I feel like Nintendo has done a great job of managing their first party and portfolio. They just brought in Gio Corsi to manage, their third party relations and their indie stuff. And I think, with Furukawa coming out and saying that the Switch 2, like the next console is basically the next model of the Switch, according to this VGC translation that we read on Palblock, I think a combination of them managing the first party portfolio, them bringing in some people who have some credit in this industry to bolster their third party support, because that's like, if you're going to look at Nintendo, that's like the one thing that kind of has been weak for them forever is third party support. And they're being conservative with their next console. I think Nintendo is making a lot of smart moves in an industry that has a lot of problems right now, especially in the AAA, major developer publisher space. So, Pat, what's yours?
Well, glad you asked. So my get it together is get it together, gamers. Seriously, all this freaking year, it's always something to bitch about. Bitch about this, bitch about that. Let's talk about 2 inches of fabric that are covering up a vagina bone. Or now, today, the release of the Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer. Let's talk about a black samurai and how that is not historically accurate and clearly the work of getting DEI into the video games. And I'm calling you gamers, shut the fuck up. Assassin's Creed has always been a historical fiction. You know what that means? It doesn't have to be accurate. It just has to have points from history that they can play on and expand. So what if he wasn't a samurai in real life? You know what? He was close enough. And the game can do whatever the fuck they want to do with this, okay? So just shut up and just let the developers cook.
You
If
mean
you're that pissed off, you know what? Don't play the game. Just shut up and don't play the game. I'm
Pat, you
tired
don't
of
you
all
don't
this freaking bitching about every goddamn thing. It's a new thing every freaking week, okay? Take 2 goddamn minutes to sign up for a PSN account. Shut up and wear one of the other 800 costumes in Stellar Blade. My God, I have never seen a bunch of baby ass losers bitching about little tiny things when there are third or like major world issues going on. And here we are thinking the end of the world is on cleavage being covered by black sheer cloth. Get it together.
can't wait for this
Tell
to
us
be
how you
clipped
really
out.
feel.
Oh man.
I will say I love video games. It's easily my biggest passion. And there's a bunch of people in the gaming community that I love, become great friends with, but my God, the gaming community is toxic as fuck. It is harsh.
It's awful.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, gamers have a fundamental problem, and I put myself in this category too, because I mean, like there are times when it feels like I'm doing the most, as far as like what's happening, as a gamer and stuff like that. But at the same time, I mean, like I feel like the general consensus is fucking it up for all of us. You know,
Yeah.
like it kind of goes back to like play games how you want to play them, play games where you want to play them, play games how you feel they should be played, and stuff like that. But it's always some bitching and complaining about some stuff from like the general population of gamers, and it's
Yeah.
like these are not the battles we should be fighting. We should be fighting to keep our favorite developers in their offices at their jobs and shit like that. We should be fighting to make sure like the companies are able to produce the consoles and stuff that we like to play these damn things on, because the economy is really trying to bend us the fuck over, as far as like we still technically have a chip shortage.
Mhm.
Nobody's working to make that shit better, gamers, right? But still everybody wants to be a fucking keyboard warrior, and like literally bitch and complain about something I was on TikTok, and I was seeing the highlights of Lord Cognito in my conversation about Tekken, and it was hilarious because it was already funny in the moment that we were talking about, but it's hilarious, like listening to our conversation in playback and stuff like that, because that's a facet of what's wrong with gamers in the industry and stuff like that. I how do we fix this problem? And and there's so many problems, right? There's a reason why, and I'm gonna say this. There's a reason why Nintendo was the top seller of consoles, and that's because of gamers. Gamers didn't need to go out and spend all that fucking money for iterative hardware, I'm sorry, and stuff like that. They also didn't need to go spend all that money for did you really need 7 copies of the same game? Did you
Some-
on the same system? Did you really need that?
Sometimes you do.
And also limited run games, y'all better get y'all shit together too.
God, just don't get me started on limited run games.
I just got a game from them I ordered like 2 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that games being pressed on regular CDRs, like shit, I can do that. I still have
Right?
I still have a I still have a I still have a DVD burner in my computer. I can do that.
It doesn't come with a cool shadow box that plays a Castlevania theme song.
You know what plays the Castlevania theme song? YouTube, Spotify, NES, Netflix. I don't know.
All right. Well, to go on the opposite side of my coin is great job, positive influencers. As much as we know
You're
that the
welcome.
bitching gamers are actually the insanely vocal minority of the group, there's a lot of other people out there that's like, dude, just chill. I want to enjoy my games. I enjoy this game. If I don't like a game, I'm not going to bash the living shit out of it and make you say, don't play this game. If you play it, you're a loser. You know, they're there to just continue to promote the hobby that I always have loved. And, it's because of support from those people. Like, just throw it out there. Kim Chica, for example, an absolutely amazing person, and she still has that passion for video games and the video game developers that are making these games. And see such positive influences in the gaming is very refreshing, given how loud the negativity is currently going on in the industry. So, thank you. Continue being positive influences. For those of us who see it, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Shout out. Shout out. All right, so we're actually gonna skip listener questions because a lot of these I know revolve around Pat and Stephanie specifically. And Stephanie's not here. So we're gonna do that. And also we've been recording for 2 hours and I did not realize that until about 10 minutes ago.
Crap.
So we're gonna save questions. Remember, you can join the Discord and write questions in. We will get to them next week. I promise. Maybe we'll just make all of the questions the topic for next week.
It'll be a mailbag episode again.
Yeah. So we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do our final thoughts here. Just a quick 1 or 2 sentences about something you're thinking about. Could be gaming, could be related, could be not, could be, I don't know, my lawnmower broke. and we had to replace it. So that was fun. That's a final thought. So, LeRon, what's your final thought? You said yours was interesting.
Yeah. It's funny that Pat's get together with the gamers, because like technically I had something that I was gonna say to the gamers overall. Gamers, you guys need to immediately check your hypocrisy at the door, because earlier I mentioned about how Jim Ryan is known with PlayStation, you know, everybody was dumping on this man for stuff that was out of his control. Everyone saying he was a bad executive and a CEO for only being able to do the stuff that Sony allowed him to do, because Jim Ryan is the CEO of PlayStation, PlayStation, but technically he still answers to Sony Japan, stuff like that. How are you gamers feeling about our good and frosty Uncle Phil right about now? How are you guys feeling about that guy? Because Clint said it earlier, like he came in and he was the man that saved Xbox.
I have thoughts on that, but we'll save it.
You either die as a hero or you live long enough to see yourself as the villain.
Well, no, I'm just
Pretty
saying, like gamers are turning on people quick, and that's what's happening to Phil right now. Gamers are turning on him and stuff like that, for the fact that Phil is doing what he is being told, or what he can do within the confines of his position. He does not own Xbox. He is not the chief shareholder of Xbox and stuff like that. Just like Jim Ryan was the chief shareholder of PlayStation and stuff like that. So like you guys need to gamers, you need to pick your battles better. You pick your battles better, and you also need to know when to shut the fuck up. Because like the pendulum spins both ways, and sometimes when it comes back, it's all of a sudden a wrecking ball.
Yep.
Not the one that Miley Cyrus is on.
I have comments.
She can
but
buy
we'll
herself
save those
flowers,
later.
though.
Clint, what are your final thoughts?
Even with all the Xbox hate that's going on, I am looking forward to the June showcase. In the end, I'm here for the games, and I think it's gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be one of their best ones, especially coming off of this. They're really gonna want to show something.
Yeah.
Excited for probably the new Doom that's not yet leaked, but is
Doom Year Zero, the leak.
Doom, Avowed. I'm super psyched for Avowed coming out later this year. The new indie games. I'm just excited to see new games.
Yeah.
And I mean that's what we're here for in the end. It sucks that Xbox is doing what it's doing right now before this, but I think we're in for a good show.
Yeah. It sucks that they're going through all this right now, because I feel like the plan that Phil started, when he took over, is finally
eroded.
No, I feel like we're finally seeing the fruits of the labor.
Right. And then
with all these awesome games, and now we're just going through these studio closures and all these other things. But
when they reap the fruits of the labor, they are also reaping the laborers.
With all the shit that was going on with Sony last year, and even with the PSN Helldiver stuff, I didn't come down with trust issues with Sony the way I have trust issues right now with Xbox.
Well, that's because Microsoft has a history of terrible communication, trust issues, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it started with Don Matrick in the Xbox One reveal. That's where it started, and it's still hanging over their heads, and it's still
no. It goes back way further than that. Remember when they insulted Japanese about the fucking Duke, the Duke controller? Remember that shit?
Yeah,
they made them their own controller.
You guys.
Yeah, but then we got Lost Odyssey, which is one of the greatest JRPGs nobody ever played.
So good.
It
is so good.
And it's still locked on Xbox. Man, Mistwalker, that Fantasian better be making its way to consoles soon. It's rumored to be. So, Pat, what's your final thought?
Remember when we said final thoughts should probably be 1 or 2 sentences?
I know, but LeRon kept talking, and then I got excited, and then Clint brought up good points, and we just keep talking. Can't stop.
Don't you like the format? Don't you like the format of the show though? Like we can actually come here, talk about stuff, and like be friendly. even though I know Corey's wanted to throw hands at me like at least 4 times tonight.
Yeah, but
Like a
it's
bunch
all
of civilized adults here.
in good fun. Anyways, Pat, what's
That was my final thought.
Oh, okay.
You're an asshole.
And on that note,
so my final thought's a little bit different. I've been doing this in various forms for 10 years now, and my first podcast was a Destiny podcast, and that podcast ran from House of Wolves all the way through Rise of Iron, and then we ended it, and then that torch is now carried with Tower Casuals, which is the Destiny podcast I do now. And about 2 years ago, I applied for the Bungie Creator Program, and this past week I got an email from some PR firm that was offering a free code for the Final Shape, and I was like, I don't understand what this is. I thought it was a scam, and then friend of show Dana Mac got a code, and then obviously friends of ours and got codes through various outlets, and so I clicked the link, and it was an acceptance into the Bungie Creator Program, and it was kind of like this cool full circle moment for me, even though obviously Destiny and Bungie themselves have had some ups and downs. Like it was kind of neat, and so that's just my final thought, I guess, is like it felt like a real full circle moment for me in terms of being a creator and just being a fan of Destiny, and it almost kind of feels like the story of Destiny itself, where like, yes, Destiny is still going to keep going after this, right? But like, it's going to be a new era of Destiny, and a lot of people are kind of wrapping it up with the Final Shape, and I don't know, it just kind of felt like we're entering a new era for us, and achieving things, and I don't know, it just felt good, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, I don't know, that's my final
about
thought.
leaving, and they've just pulled you right back in.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna play through the Final Shape. I don't know how hardcore I'm gonna play afterwards, to be honest. I've said that since the Witch Queen came out, so I want to see the story through. These characters are important to me. The story is important to me, but afterwards, unless it's something like, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a Marvel situation where they're just not going to know what to do for a couple years, and then maybe something will happen. But that's it. Thank you.
It could be a Final Fantasy 14 situation where they have another 5 story arcs planned.
Maybe. So, thank you, Bungie, for the code. Thank you for the creator thing, Bungie creator thing. It was cool. So that's my final thought. I know it's kind of bragging. I don't mean to brag, but it was kind of just a cool moment for me personally. So let's get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can find us every Monday on your podcast service of choice. You can get it 1 week early on Patreon for as little as $1, as well as early access to a few of our other podcasts and other perks. Patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Of course, your listenership is enough for us, so subscribe wherever you listen or watch. LeRon, Pat, Clint, thank you guys for your time tonight.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.